Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Eating Myself Thin. My name's Alex and I've been documenting my Mounjaro journey, and this is my week 10 update. Now, I've had a lot of stuff going on this week and I haven't been perfect, all right? So I'm going to be real, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you like watching me because I'm real and I'm honest, right? So that's what I'm going to do, all right? I'm not perfect. I'm sure you're not perfect. And what's great about this community, I believe, is that we learn from everyone's mistakes as well as learning from the things they do right. Now, I'm making it sound like I've had an awful time and I've been eating and shoveling shit in my mouth all week, and that's not the case. But I did have to go away for a night last week, and I did have to make good choices, the right choices, and I did for the most part. But we're going to go through the things that I maybe didn't do to continue my weight loss, let's just say, because that's real life, right? And if I can show you guys by being honest, show you what real life looks like, because no one's perfect, I'm not perfect, and I don't want any of you to feel like you're a failure when you screw up, or not even when you screw up. I've not screwed up this week, but everything in moderation, and I have had a lovely night away, and that included some alcohol, it included some churros, right? And that's fine in moderation. But we get too many people that I feel like that kind of make us feel guilty or make us feel like we're not doing it right. Yeah, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's only your way, all right? And my way might be a bit slower to somebody else's, and I'm all right with that. I need this to be sustainable, that I can make changes for the rest of my life and not feel like I'm constantly on a diet. All right, so that's basically my plan. And this weekend, I enjoyed food, I enjoyed some alcohol, I had a lovely time, and that is real life. So let's get into it, shall we? So this week started with me taking my dose last Wednesday. Now, I'm dosing every 5 days, okay? And that's working for me. You've got to do what's right for you, all right? And I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm no doctor, I'm no guru, I'm no influencer. I'm just telling you what I do, and whether I'm successful or whether I'm not successful, you're going to hear it all. All right. So I dose every 5 days. At the moment, I'm taking 5 milligrams every 5 days. And that for me is working because I need to control my food chatter and binge eating. um you know, for a long time, my whole life has been a cycle of yo-yo dieting, and I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat. And so for me, it's not really about portion control. It's not even a lot about food choices, because I do cook from scratch nearly every day. We eat good food and not a huge amount of processed stuff. Okay, so it's not even that. My issue is binge eating or snacks, in food in between meals. That's my issue. And so what this does for me by doing it every 5 days is that by the time I get to day 5, I can get myself, I start to feel hungry. I do, ravenous actually. I don't think I've ever been as hungry as I feel like when this medication starts to drop off. In fact, let me know in the comments, please, if this is you as well, because uh, it is full on hunger. So I want to avoid that, because when that creeps in, that's when I start thinking about all the stuff that I could eat. I want to eat snacks, go into the cupboard, I'm bored, and even like sitting in front of the TV with it's literally just hand to mouth motion. It's habit. And I needed to get out of that, and I didn't want to have that food chatter back even for the 2 days before my next dose. So I've decided to do it that way. All right. And it's working for me. So let me tell you about Wednesday. Again, I've got my notes because I can't remember. Fuck all. So you're going to have to put up with it. So yeah, I took my dose on Wednesday because the Tuesday night I was really starting to struggle. I was thinking about, I still stayed on track, but I was struggling. So I'd had a banana while I was at work. When I'm at work, I am really busy. It keeps me busy. I'm on my feet. Although I'm around food, obviously I see it every day. So it's not so much like, like when you go into a cake shop or something and there's absolutely gorgeous cakes everywhere and you're like, oh my God, which one do I want? For me at work, I see the same stuff every day mainly, and so it doesn't really bother me, so that's quite good, isn't it? But I'd been really, really struggling, and I knew that my father-in-law, my dad, he was coming round for tea that night. He's not been very well, actually, and it's the first time he's been round for dinner for ages. So I thought, right, I'm going to cook him a really nice meal. So I left work and I had it in my brain, because I was at this stage, my jab hadn't kicked in. I'd taken it, but it hadn't kicked in yet. So this is what I did. I decided I wanted to do a roast, something with roast potatoes, right? It was more the potatoes that I was craving, all right? And I thought, right, I'm going to do a pie roast. So I went to Marks and Spencer's, and I'm walking around with my trolley, and they do some lovely pies in there. And listen, I know this pie is not the best thing for me. We'll get to that in a minute. So I'm looking at the pies, picked up a pie. Then I'm thinking, right, need to get some veg. What veg are we going to have? Right, we're going to have carrots, we're going to have broccoli, we're going to have some onions, and there was another veg, cauliflower cheese. I saw it at the corner of my eye, winking at me. I picked it up and thought, I shouldn't really be having this, but I'll just cook it because Dad'll like that. And I won't have any, right? Now, even though I'm telling myself this, I know it's not true, obviously, but I'm trying to stay strong at this point because it hasn't kicked in. So in my trolley goes the cauliflower cheese. Then I needed to get potatoes for the roast potatoes. By the way, the best roasties, King Edwards, all the way, all the way. Anyway, so I picked up my King Edwards and I'm walking around the aisles, and I get down the pie aisle, and then opposite that you've got the vegetable bits, like stuff you can buy already made, like the carrot and swede crush. I think it's called carrot swede crush. No, I don't buy that stuff. I make it myself if I want something like that. But while I was there, that's when I saw the cauliflower cheese, and then something else started winking at me, and that was the rather large Yorkshire puddings that were there as well. So yeah, in my basket it went because Dad'll like that, right? So I got home, I was so hungry. So for me, the food chatter had totally taken over my brain at this stage. There was no stopping it. It was it was rolling, and it was rolling and rolling. It kept on rolling, and I was telling myself that it's okay because dad's going to eat that. But, you know, like when you, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, when you justify it to yourself. Yeah, I'm justifying it. I'm justifying it to myself. So it had taken over completely. I went through the checkout, got home, and I was so hungry. I thought, right, I need to have something because I'm just going to end up going in the cupboards. The Halloween sweets are still in the cupboard, right? They're going to be in the cupboard for bloody donkeys. I don't. They brought back so many sweets. Anyway, I thought, right, I've got to have a good choice here because I know going shopping when you're hungry is not a good idea. I've known that for years, but I still do it, right? I've just finished work. I had to go and get some food ready for dad coming around for dinner. And I went and I was starving. And that's how this started. This whole thing started. So I got home and I thought, right, I've got to make a good choice. And I had some of my Save My Diet tomato soup in the fridge, which, if you haven't seen my recipe yet, it's in my playlist. For my recipes and stuff while eating on Mounjaro, and I had a mug of that and it sorted myself out. It really did. I felt so satisfied after that. So my injection might have started to kick in at this stage, and I felt like satisfied. Anyway, so I'm looking around at a mountain of food that I've just bought. In fact, half an hour before, was so excited about buying it and cooking it, and it's going to be delicious and dad's going to love it, and justifying it all in my mind. And now I've had a mug of my soup and now I'm looking at it like, why the hell did you just do that? Why do we do it to ourselves? You know, it was, I was completely satisfied just from the soup. But clearly, I haven't changed that thought process in my brain, because as soon as I'm hungry, it starts again. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you not for anyone to shame me. I'm telling you because it's real life. And someone might be watching this video, and if that's you and you recognize this kind of behavior in you, in yourself, then it's nothing, you haven't ruined anything. Okay, we're just gonna understand the mistake we've made, put it to bed, move on, start another day, and be great again. That's what we're going to do. So I never would have been able to do that before, because if I'd have been on a normal diet, you know, and then this had happened, firstly, I would have finished that whole dinner, because let me tell you, that dinner was amazing. I looked after the roast potatoes. They were on par with Christmas roast potatoes. They were honestly amazing. My plate was full. I've put a picture in. I think I've got one. My plate was full. It was absolutely delicious. And I ate maybe 10 mouthfuls and I couldn't eat anymore. I was satisfied. I couldn't eat anymore. And that was because my injection had started to kick in, or had kicked in at that stage. And if I hadn't have had that, I would have finished that plate, right? And then I would have told myself, right, well, you've screwed it right up now for today, so you might as well have what you want for the rest of the day. And then I probably would have had a pudding. I would have had maybe ice cream, or my rice pudding. Now I know that's like 700 and whatever calories per portion. I would have had something else. And the problem with that is, the next day when you want to get back on it, because you've screwed it up and you might have put on a couple of pounds, you think, what's the point? And you give up. And that's what I love about this drug. I love that I screwed up in the way of, I went shopping hungry. I've bought a load of food. I've come home. I've cooked it. I've even put it on my plate, a huge portion, but I couldn't eat it. And I'll put a picture up of what I finished actually, because I took a picture of that as well. And that's the reality of it, right? And that's real life. So that was Wednesday. All right. Thursday, fine, back on it, no issues, everything's good, loving it, right? So on Friday, we had to go to London. I had an appointment at Piccadilly. And so we get the train down and get on the tube. I go straight to my meeting. Anyway, that's another story. That completely went tits up. But anyway, out we come at about, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we thought, right, we've got to get something to eat. Now, my injections kicked in and we were staying overnight and we had a hotel near Chinatown. Now, I absolutely love Chinese. I love buying Chinese. I love cooking Chinese. Anything Chinese, I absolutely adore, right? So it just so happened that where we were staying was right in the middle of Chinatown in London. So I'm like, right, we need to have something to eat. But look, there's Chinese everywhere. And I didn't. I was like, no, we're not having Chinese because it's full of sugar a lot of the time, Chinese. I was like, no, we're not having Chinese, but let's find a steak restaurant. So we did. We found a steak restaurant and we had some steak. I had fillet steak and my husband had the ribeye. I did have some fries on the side because I'm away and that's real life. I'm not going to completely deprive myself of enjoying anything ever again. So, yeah, I had some chips. And what, who cares? So that was lovely. And we didn't eat then well, no, we did towards the end. So, yeah, we then decided to go to Leicester Square and they had like a little Christmas market on. So we went there, got the tube there, or actually we didn't need the tube, it was just around the corner. So yeah, went to Leicester Square and the Christmas market. This is where it started to go a bit wrong. So we decided, I thought, right, we're gonna, because my meeting had gone really bad. Again, that's another story. And I was like, sod it, I'm having a beer. So we did. So that beer led to 2 beers, obviously, there. And then we decided to go to another Christmas market in London. And so we got the tube to Hyde Park, where they've got the Winter Wonderland. If you're thinking of going there and you think it's going to be like a Christmas market, like what you might be used to in your town, it's not like that. I mean, it does have some stalls, don't get me wrong, but it's more like a fairground, really. So as long as you know that and still want to go, that's great. But don't go there just thinking it's a Christmas market because it's not. Anyway, so we got there and then I had probably another 3 beers. Had a lovely time, right? I'm not regretting it. It's real life and it was great. However, after having the 3 beers and there was a big sweet stall there, I then ended up spending £35 on some pick a mix. All right. Took it back to the hotel, but I don't know whether you're going to believe me or not, but I didn't eat any of them. So after those alcoholic beers, I was feeling a bit worse for wear because I haven't really drunk for ages. Um, yeah, feeling worse for wear. And so we decided just go back to the hotel, go to sleep, which is what we did. The Sunday came along. Sorry if this is boring, but I just want to tell you like how real life is and like we're not all perfect and that's okay. I want you to all know that if you screw up, it's okay, right? It's straight back on that horse. So Saturday, we were going home. We had a train booked for 12:30 in the afternoon. And we went to a little restaurant and had breakfast. And I had eggs Benedict. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I ate 1.5 muff, like because like dished up on a muffin base, and I ate one and maybe not quite a half, one and a third maybe of that, and that was all I had that day until we got home, when actually we didn't eat. We just I picked on some beetroot that I had in the fridge. I literally ate about 4 beetroots, but I was feeling terrible because obviously I'd drunk and eaten stuff that I shouldn't have been eating, and it plays with your mind. It still makes you feel like a failure, but I'm not a failure. I just went and had a good time somewhere. So yeah, I did still feel a bit like a failure. I was feeling bad. I was feeling guilty. I was feeling bad. But really, in the grand scheme of things, I wasn't bad. I wasn't really. And but I think the alcohol has made me hold on to a bit of fluid. Well, it's either that or I did really, really overindulge, but I don't think I did. But let's go through my numbers, shall we? So I started on the 8th of September. Where's my bloody list? Is it here? Yeah. So I started Mounjaro on the 8th of September 2025, and my starting weight was 17 stone, 2.4 pounds, or that's 240.4 pounds, or 109 kilos. Bearing in mind that my heaviest weight is 25.5 stone. I'll put a picture up now. That and I had got down to my lowest weight of 13 stone 6, maybe 3 years ago. And slowly over the 3 years, I've gained 3.5 stone back. So I started on the 8th of September at 17 stone, 2.4 pounds, and that's since Mounjaro. Okay, so last week I weighed 15 stone, 1.8 pounds, which is 211.8 pounds, or 96.3 kilos. And this week I weighed 15 stone, 2.1 pound, which is 212.1 pounds, or 96.4 kilos, which means I have had a gain of 0.3 pound. So my total loss in the 10 weeks is 2 stone, 0.3 pound. My heaviest weight was 25 stone 7, which is 357 pounds, or 162.2 kilos. I have lost since then 144 pounds 0.9, 144.9 pounds. So yeah, I've had a little tiny gain. Do I care? No. Do I how? I had a lovely time. I had a lovely time away, and I'm going to continue living life to the fullest and making better choices, which I did. So I could have gone there. I could have gone to the nicest Chinese restaurant, had a whole bloody crispy aromatic duck, or, sweet and sour chicken, Hong Kong style, or crispy shredded beef. I could have had all that stuff. And believe me, I love it. But I didn't. I made good choices. I made good choices all weekend, really, apart from the alcohol. But I'm going to live my life. And that's it. So, yeah, that's my update this week. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it's relatable to you. All right. I know a lot of you may have a lot of weight to lose, and you're, feeling like you've got a mountain to climb. And when you have got a lot of weight to lose, and it doesn't show in the mirror for quite a while, or no one notices your hard work for quite a while, it's disheartening, because when you do, and you will slip up and have have a day where the demons take over, right? It's going to happen. It's hard to then get back on that horse because you don't see a difference anyway. So you're like, what's the point? What's the point in carrying on? And so if I can just show you in my journey that I'm not perfect, sometimes I have a gain, but in total I've lost just over 2 stone. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing now. All right. And I'm just happy to do that for everybody and me. This is a lot for me as well, to document it for myself, you know. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. I am shocked that you've made it this far because I continue to waffle on a load of, nearly swore, bollocks. And I appreciate you all. Please smash that like button, share it with someone if you think it would be something that they might be interested in, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I appreciate you all. I'm still blown away about everyone watching me, and yeah, I'm just blown away. So thank you very much. Anyway, take care. Mwah. See you later.